So I'm going to explain how you will set up your projects to create your cartoon character business card. Here's an example of what I'm going to show you how to create in a very simplistic way. So when you get into Illustrator, you're going to create a new document, and your dimensions should be in inches, and your width should be 3 inches, and your height 2 inches. And we'll just do our color mode RGB, and we'll click create. Okay. And I'm going to alt scroll out just so I can see the edge of my artboard. Now we need to do a front and a back of our business card. So first thing we're going to do is actually come down to our artboard tool. Okay, and we're going to select it. And when we do that, it highlights our current artboard. We can actually hold down the Alt key because, as we know, when we Alt and drag anything, it duplicates it. So we're going to hold down Alt till we see our duplicate cursor, and we're going to grab where it says Artboard 1 and Alt drag over to make an exact duplicate copy of this artboard. So now we have 2 artboards. We're going to come back to where it says Artboard 1 and click on that. And at the top here in your option bar, we're going to change it from Artboard 1 and we're going to name it Front. And we're going to come over to the next artboard, clicking on the little label tab, come up to our option bar and call it Back. And when we're done with that, we'll go ahead and click the Move tool, the Selection tool, and it sets. And now we have 2 artboards. So now what we're going to do is we're going to begin designing our cartoon business card. So I'm going to use Mickey Mouse, as you saw, as my example. So I'm going to start by typing the first name, Mickey. But this isn't the font that I think I want to use. So I'm going to come to my font drop down until I find something that looks more like what I have in mind. And then we'll just resize it, hold down Shift, it keeps it in proportion. And then I'm going to select this, hold down Alt because I want to duplicate Mickey, Alt drag down, go to my type tool, select the second Mickey, and change it to Mouse. Now I want them to be stacked perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and select the word mouse and then just holding down Shift, we're going to increase the size until it aligns with the edge of Mickey. That way they stack nicely together. Okay. Then over here in my white space, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my Shape Builder tool to create the little Mickey hat. So I'm going to start by using the ellipse tool. I'm going to create an oval because this will become the top portion of the hat. I'm going to come back into my shape tool and choose rectangle. I'm going to create a rectangle that aligns about halfway through that oval. And then I'm going to drag my arrow through both so that they're both selected before I come over to my Shape Builder tool, Shift M. And as we now have learned, I'm going to hold down the Alt key and drag my arrow through these bottom 2 sections to remove them. And all that's left is that top rounded portion of the Mickey hat. I'm going to come back to my Shapes tool, come to my Ellipse tool, hold down Shift and draw a circle for the first ear. Position it, select it, Alt, drag to make an exact duplicate of it. I can go ahead and try and position these so that they look like little Mickey Mouse ears. Once I have them positioned where I want them, I'm going to go ahead and drag my arrow through both or through all 3 objects so that they're selected. Come to my Shape Builder tool and drag my arrow through all of them so that they join together as one shape. Now, before I add my Mickey ears to my business card, I actually want to change the color of Mickey and Mouse. So I'm going to drag my arrow through both words, and I'm going to make them red. Then going to take my Mickey ears, shrink them down a bit. And I would like to put them on top of my O, but kind of tilted to the side like that so that it overlaps the word Mickey. And then I can decide where I want to position that text, in the center or down off to the corner. I'm going to come over to the back of my card I'm going to go back to my shape tool, select red, and I'm going to drag a red square over my artboard. And it's okay if that edge bleeds a bit, because when we go to export these as JPEGs, you'll only see what's inside your artboard area. And so Mickey has the little pants he wears, and they have the white buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and come back to my shape tool, select ellipse, select white as my color. Now Alt drag to duplicate that, because again, I want them to be identical. And then I can come back to my type tool, and I can begin to type the information I'm going to put on the back of my business card. I don't know if I like it in black. I think it gets lost against the red, so I'll keep my text white as well. And I'll select it, Alt drag it. This makes it easier and consistent. I'll maybe put his address, 123 Main Street, Disneyland. But I want this to stack nicely. So again, holding down Shift, I'm going to resize it until it fits neatly underneath Mickey Mouse. And one last time, we'll Alt drag to duplicate it. And then I'll give him an email address, say the original mouse at disney.com. One more time, I'll select it, hold down Shift and resize it until it stacks neatly. Can hold down Shift to select all 3 text layers, resize it, position it where I want it. And of course, I would spend more time really honing in on all of the little details that Mickey Mouse has, so that I could really make this business card front and back look cool. But that is a good start for you guys. Enjoy the project.